What's up YouTube? This is Drea here, bringing you another video, and today I will be unboxing and giving you my first impressions of the HTC U12 Plus. Now I'm super excited to get my hands on this phone and test out all the features and let you know what I think about it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let me grab my unboxing knife and let's go ahead and get this opened up. Okay, and let's open this up here. Okay, so inside we've got our phone straight away, and before I get to that, let's just put it off to the side. Okay, so here we've got our charging brick. Now this is Quick Charge 3.0. The phone does support Quick Charge 4.0, however, but they only included a Quick Charge 3.0 adapter in the box. Let's put that to the side. Over here we have our USB Type-C charging cable, and now we have our USB Type-C headphones. Now these look like the same Usonic headphones that came with the U11 last year, and they really are a great pair of headphones. You get nice sound quality out of them. Now again, they are USB Type-C because this phone does not have a headphone jack, so bear that in mind. And then we also have some extra ear tips for the headphone. And opening this up here, I'll put that aside. And HTC does provide a case. It's very similar to the case that came with the U11 last year. It's just a plain clear plastic case. It's not the best. It's certainly not going to protect your phone from any major drops, but at least it will give it some protection, at least from scratches. So I am happy that they include that in the box. And then over here, we have our SIM ejection tool and the usual startup guides. So let's go ahead and move this off to the side. And let's go ahead and look at our phone. Gotta give it a good tug there. There we go. Okay, here it is. And that is very reflecting. Now I've got the translucent blue here. And you can see, if you look up, you can see that you can see a little bit of the insides of the phone. So this is really nice color here. Translucent blue. Very nice looking phone. Turn it over to the front. You could see those dual front-facing cameras there. So it does feel great. Let's go ahead and compare it to the last year's U11. In terms of which one looks better, I've got the amazing silver U11 from last year. And I mean, they both feel really nice. I do prefer the color on the U11, if I'm being honest. I just love that amazing silver color. But this phone does feel really nice. It's got the newer aspect ratio, so the phone is thinner, making it easier to hold. So I love that about it. All right, so let's do a quick tour around the phone before we go ahead and power it on. So up top, we have a microphone here. Over to the right side, this is going to be our SIM card tray. Over at the bottom, we got another mic, and we have our USB Type-C charging port and the bottom firing speaker. And then over on the left side, we do have the power button and the volume up and down buttons. And over into the back, of course, we have our dual cameras. The main camera is a 12 megapixel camera with an f1.8 aperture. And the secondary 16 megapixel camera with an f2.6 aperture. We also have our flash and our fingerprint sensor in the back here. And over on the front is where we got our dual cameras here, and these are both 8 megapixel cameras with an f2.0 aperture, and the dual cameras are supposed to help the portrait mode and get that nice bokeh effect background. So I'm going to be testing all of that out. Now going back to the buttons, of course, this has been one of the main talking points of this phone, the fact that these are not actual physical buttons. They do not click. They're just sort of cutouts here as part of the phone. And they kind of register a haptic feedback when you press them. And this has been pretty controversial, to be quite honest. A lot of negative things said about it, but you know, I do want to test these out myself and see how I respond to those buttons as well. So let's go ahead and turn that on. And right away, I mean, pressing the power button wasn't anything strange to me. I've heard that it felt kind of strange that it doesn't click, but just that first initial turning on, I can say that it didn't feel very odd to me. I just put my thumb there and boom, the phone turned on. So yeah, that's pretty much a tour around the phone, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the initial setup process and you know, put in all my apps, download all my stuff on here, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my impressions of it. Okay everyone, I'm back and I've gone through the complete setup process of this phone and have all my apps downloaded and everything. So right off the bat, I mean, the software is very familiar. If you're coming from an HTC U11, it's almost identical to that. Really no changes much to it. So I personally would have liked to see HTC kind of revamp the software just a little bit to make it look a little bit differently, but I guess they're going with the philosophy of if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Because it really is a nice UI here that's not too complicated. They've trimmed it down a lot over the years so that it's much more like a stock Android experience with no duplicate apps or anything like that. So yeah, everything is familiar. You do have blink feed off to the side here. If you like that, if you don't like blink feed, you could always have it removed. But yeah, typically it is basically exactly like the U11 in terms of the software. Of course, EdgeSense has been updated to EdgeSense 2.0. Now, EdgeSense being where you can squeeze the size of the phones to launch an app. By default, I have it set up to a short squeeze to launch the camera. And you could just squeeze it again to take a picture. Actually, so I do like that. For me, it's not a gimmick. It's actually a feature I've used with my U11, and I do like that that they've included that again here on this phone. Squeeze and hold is another one, and right now I have squeeze and hold to turn on the flashlight. It's the quickest, easiest way to do that. And the new feature that they've included is a double tap on the side. Now, by default, when you double tap the sides of the phone, either side, it will go to one-handed mode. But I've already gone over and changed that up. So I've got it set up where double tapping the sides, if I can get it in the right spot, we'll take a screenshot. There it goes. So yeah, I really like that. It gives it more functionality that they included an extra feature with that double tap, and you can do it on either side, depending on with which hand you're holding the phone with. So again, really nice. Works well. I haven't really had much of an issue there. And another thing, again, talking about the buttons that aren't really buttons, and I've been using it for a little while now. Of course, this is the first day and probably just not even an hour yet. So I can't really give you a full in-depth review on these buttons, but so far I've had no problems with it. Pressing the power button works. So there's that, and then the volume keys work. I haven't had an issue there. Now the volume up more so even than the volume down. The volume up takes a little bit more pressure, and maybe I would like to see it a little bit less pressure, but again, so far no problems with it whatsoever. It works every time I press it. So, I mean, I've seen a lot of complaints about the buttons, but right now I don't have any. Okay, so the only complaint, and you just saw it right there, is the double tap. I have it set up to take a screenshot as I showed you before, but that is the second time where I've just placed my thumb there and it took a screenshot. Earlier I was holding the phone just like that and it took a screenshot. So maybe that may be a little bit of a glitch, but that's only happening with the double tap function where I'm not even double tapping. Again, I was just holding it like that and the screenshot went off. So that's something I'm going to be looking at more if that keeps happening, and I will let you know in my full review. But the buttons I'm not having any problems with at all, so I don't know if other people are having problems. Maybe I'll start having problems. Who knows? I'll let you know in the full review. But yeah, that's pretty much a quick look. Another thing that I've done is the navigation keys. I've gone ahead and set that up the way I like it. Now down here you do have 2 rows. You can swipe over and get more. You can do a screen recording, a screen capture. You can toggle the menu down there, the quick settings toggle. Now, out of the box, when you set up and you choose to set it up with these extra buttons, it's going to have a power off key so that if you press it, it will turn the screen off. Now, for me personally, I don't see a need in that because I'm perfectly fine just using the power button to turn off the screen. So I've actually gone and switched that out to include the notification, to drop the notification shade. And I like that a lot better. So basically you just need to go into settings and go into the personalize and change navigation buttons, and you can go ahead and set that up whichever way you want to. So that's the way I've done it. It makes it easier because it is a tall 6-inch screen. So it might be hard to reach up. For some people, it might be hard to reach up and bring down the notification tray. So I like the ability to just do that. So that's pretty much it. Fingerprint scanner is working decently. They've got face unlock here, which is working great. So just to test that out here, if I just press the power button and then show my face, it unlocks immediately. So that's working great. I'm glad to see that on the device as well. So yeah, right now my first impressions are good. I do actually, and I kind of said it earlier, I do actually prefer the U11 in terms of how it looks, and even a little bit of how I like the size of the U11. I guess the curve of it more. In the U12 Plus, it's a little bit more, I don't know how to describe, a little bit bulkier maybe. But the U11 feels slightly better in the hand, even though it is a wider phone, and I do like the thinner aspect ratio of the U12 Plus. But that's just a quick comparison of the two. I'm excited to use the phone more, and we'll definitely be letting you know more about it in the full review. But let me know what you want to see. Of course, the camera is a big talking point of this phone as well, and I will be looking at that in more detail. Boom sound, speaker quality as well, all of that will come in the full review. But let me know if there's anything in particular you want me to take a look at. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Take care, guys.